This content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. The Better Traders is not a broker dealer. We are not an investment advisor. We have no access to non-public information about publicly traded companies or cryptocurrencies. And this is not a place for the giving or receiving of financial advice, advice concerning investment decisions, or tax or legal advice. The value of investments and the income derived from them can go down as well as up. Investors may not get back the amount they invested, and past performance is not a guide to future performance. Hey guys, it's me, Moon and Papa. Let me put on some music, although it's going to blast. I have to just turn that down first. There we go. I think it's playing. I think so. Yes, it is. It's good. All right, how's everybody doing? I'm going to turn it off on my end because it's super distracting because that's just my mind. I can't not focus if there's music playing. I have to focus on it. So I hope everybody's doing well out there in YouTube land, wherever you are in the world. So today's live stream, I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin. I am over the moon, I guess you could say, about Bitcoin's price action since last week. Especially because last week the TBO printed an open long on the daily time frame. So since last week, it was printed on the 23rd, Bitcoin has risen about 10% plus. So right now it's in a little bit of a tricky spot, and we're going to be talking mainly about Bitcoin, but I'm also wanting to talk to you about alts and what I think could happen next. There is legit too much to talk about today, and I can't talk about it all because there's just too much and I don't want to take up that much time. But the truth is that I'll be having another live stream, but it's going to be on the Better Traders Club private server. So that's going to be happening next week on my April 5th, but it's probably going to be April 4th in the evening if you're in North America. But there's a ton of stuff in the club. I talk about it all the time because it's legit awesome, and I work really hard to make it awesome, not just with the tools, but also with all of the fun stuff that I post in there. And I just wanted to show you a little bit. I like to brag, especially when things go well. So over here in Discord, we have a channel here for trade setups. And in the trade setups, sometimes I'll post charts that aren't necessarily in the watch list, but ones that you want to watch. And I have a chart down here, or not chart, but basically my P&L from my live deals. This is my actual account, and you probably don't believe me because I'm showing you a screenshot. Isn't that right? That's how it works. You have to appease the cynical people. So give me a second and I'll bring up my real legit account. Just give me a quick second just to prove, no, this is legit real. Yes. Okay, here we go. So yes, real summary balance. Yes, I know that you can see it. No, I'm not freaking out anymore and trying to hide it. So far so good. These tokens that I called out back here on, when was this? March 22nd, right here. There's just so many charts. So BNT, Link, GTC, NKN, 1inch, ZRX, Poly, and Storage. All of these had a setup that I was waiting for. And it's nice to see that I didn't take all of them because that would be too many open trades for me. But the ones that I did take, they're doing really well. I do have some changes to the orders. Like for a couple of these, I want to add, or I did add more funds just because I think that it's going to go up higher. But you'll notice I have a stop loss for every single one of them. The reason I have a stop loss is because what I'm going to talk to you about in just a little bit. So it's all connected. It's the circle of life. All right. So yes, there are great trading setups right now. And yes, we are in the green. Hopefully you're making some good gains, especially since last week, because as soon as Bitcoin turns bullish, everything else is going to overreact bullishly. You'll note the date on these. Actually, I want to show you. This is ridiculous. So like this one right now is my biggest winner, TRB. And I wasn't planning on showing you that chart. But what the hey, might as well, right? So let me come over here, TRB USDT. So the reason why I was so excited about this guy is because it has the setup that I was waiting for. Plain and simple. I mean, that's the easiest thing to say. So what I was looking for, you may be curious, well, I'm basically watching the TBO like a hawk. And anytime I see a cluster of closed shorts, I'm expecting there to be an open long. Open long's always going to come late. That's okay. But when I see this happening, especially on a support line, and you can see what I'm talking about right here, because right here is my support line, even though it's dotted. Let me change that. Perfect. Let me hide that. So you can see it. The price of TRB fell down to a previous support. I got confirmation that now is a good time to consider an entry. Could I have gotten in lower? Yeah, of course. But I want to wait for confirmation because that's how I trade. So I entered my trade on the 22nd, as you can see right here at 1:15. And you know what? This has been a pretty decent little trade right here. Oops, wrong button. So on the 22nd, took my trade, and now I'm up and I am waiting. I am taking profit along the way, as you can see. Please do not edge me out. Don't place your orders ahead of me in the order book. And you're also noticing here on my order, and let me just make it super big so you can see, I'm being really cautious too. So here for this order, I'm pretty cautious. I have take profit at 35, and I also have take profit at 55. And if we look at the chart, TRB is shot up as high as $140. Even here, it went up as high as $78 or $80 right there. So why am I being so cautious if I've literally caught the bottom of this chart? Well, that's because Bitcoin is in a little bit of a precarious situation right now. And precarious basically means that there is no definite outcome to what could happen. It's kind of like it's on a seesaw where it's teetering. I think that we're still going to see Bitcoin have explosive growth and explosive price action. If that happens, these are going to be fine. These will just rip and roar to be great. But there's also chance of a Bitcoin, I almost said the wrong word, bull trap. So a bull trap is, and I have to come over here. All right, cool. Oh yeah, and I know yes, Zilliqa has been on an extreme tear. Absolute madness. It is up like crazy. Over the last couple of days, it's up 360%. It just doesn't stop. If you've ever wanted to practice trading on a chart, a lot of people are going to say, you're an idiot. Why would you ever say that? Well, to be honest, charts that are moving up like this are great for practicing, because if it's just on a huge tear like this, then it actually is a lot safer than you realize, just because they're easy and they're forgiving. Now, with that said, this one, where it used to be, has now shot up 450%. The time to practice was like back here. Not so much right here where we are, but yes, Zilliqa is absolutely bananas. Yes, it is. So the reason why I think Bitcoin is in a tricky or touchy spot is because even though we're up 10% and it looks really great and rosy green, it does. There are lots of reasons to be excited. The one thing that I am cautious about is basically I'm seeing Bitcoin be bullish. Yes, it's bullish, but we're also seeing it lose steam. We're also seeing it lose energy right here. So if you can tell, we had this big burst. The reason why we had this big candle is because we broke through some overhead resistance, and it just broke through it, no problem. It was great. So we actually are up against some strong resistance right now. So this is basically a consolidation period for BTC. We've already had actually we'll say 2 full days of consolidation. If I go to the 4-hour time frame, we'll see it better. So Bitcoin hit it. It went as high as 48,189 here on Binance. And it also took a little bit of a fall, just 3%. So this is decent, super reasonable and decent consolidation. This is nothing to be worried about or freaked out about. So here is the best case scenario right here. The best case scenario in my mind is if Bitcoin does this and it comes up to test it and it comes down again and then tests it and it comes up, because essentially it's going to be making a really bullish formation, kind of like this part down here, where it just kept doing this, going sideways, and then boom. So I'm waiting for another sideways, sideways, boom. So if we're going to look at that boom-ish part, then we got to think about how long did it take for the last time to break through. So if we're looking at this big bull candle right here, it took us about 2 days. We're looking at this one, it took us about 2 days. So we are literally on that 2-day mark, I believe. Let's check. And we're on 3 days. So it's taking a little bit longer. So this is why I'm feeling like, I mean, I'm still bullish BTC. I don't think that's ever going to stop. But it's also something you've just got to be careful of. So the thing to watch out for is this bull trap scenario. So a bull trap is easily defined as a fake out. The price moves up, everyone's excited, it breaks past resistance, and people are super jazzed about it, and they're doing jazz hands all day to their family members until they want to cut off every one of their fingers. It's a joyous occasion. But here's the problem: because it's a trap, there will inevitably be selling that goes up into that bullish movement, and then the price will fall back down to support. Now, I don't know if we're seeing that exactly yet. Yesterday, it was feeling more like a trap. Today, I really can't tell. The reason why I can't tell right now is because the price action is so tight, but it's still looking really good. So just looking at the price action, not even volume, looking at the price action, it resembles basically back here where we had some good moves and then there was a pullback before it moved up higher. I think we're going to see something like that where it would make sense for BTC to take just a little bit of a break down here to 44 before moving up higher. And I don't think it can actually go like this, but I would love to see it do that. That would be really fascinating and terrifying. So I don't want to go back in time. I want to go back in time back here to buy more BTC. I don't want to go back in time here to buy more BTC. You know what I mean? So time travel is only beneficial to those that can really go back in time, like a long time. Not anyway. I'll stop. So yeah, I think that it's reasonable to see BTC take a little bit of a breath or breather before going up higher. Now, how high can it go? It's not going to go like this for sure. I think we're going to see a lot of resistance at $52,000. So the reason or the argument for $52,000 is pretty simple and easy to see. But I'm going to go ahead and just draw this resistance line right here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bounce 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 52K is pretty strong for resistance. And the reason for that also lines up to our Fibonacci lines that I've drawn. These are really what I'm looking at. Because we have 51 to 52K is pretty tough and tight right now, just like where we are right here. So I knew that we were going to have some resistance. I actually shared it in the Better Traders Club. I told them if we break above, we're going to take a break at 48K before moving up to 52K. It's just going to happen. Why do I know this? Because I'm the guy teaching the courses. I know it. I've been teaching for a long time. So let's look at some other stuff. One really exciting thing about what I'm seeing though, that totally surprised me, is the fact that relative strength index, or RSI, our peak back on the 9th of February was 79.75. So it's definitely in the overbought territory. Anything above 70 is overbought to me. So we had a reset, it fell down, and now we actually made a new high in RSI. We went up as high as 84.87. That is pretty incredible to me. I think that's pretty awesome to see Bitcoin so bullish, and the fact that RSI isn't even cooling off yet. This is also another reason why I don't think we're done yet. I've seen and watched Bitcoin for a long time. Sorry for all the horizontal lines, but basically what I wanted to show you here is, and I shared this previously on the club, is that it's totally normal for RSI to hit these peaks like this and then to make another peak later on and then to just pop above it, and then it makes a higher high again on the RSI specifically. So here's another high, and then it falls down. So this is 94.44 over here. These are lower, of course, and then we have a move up higher. Then we got our bear trap and our summer, and then our new high here on the 30th of July 2021 is 89.83. So you can see why I'm so excited. The fact that we've reached as high as 84.87 is pretty remarkable. So keeping our feet on the ground and not getting too overhyped about Bitcoin's price action, it's also important to remember that anytime the RSI is above 70, that is an overbought zone. Even though the price can continue moving up higher when RSI is at 70 or higher, we want to be watching RSI for signs of weakness. As soon as the RSI starts to angle down and starts to move down, even though the price is moving up, when it starts to move down, that's showing hidden weakness. Even though the price action is moving up, I know it's crazy, but trust me, I've been doing this for a long time. This is what I'll be watching for, and I don't see it yet. So we saw our peak here. RSI is still cranking up. If we saw some amazing news today, fundamental news, like the United States decides to make Bitcoin reserve currency, doubt it, but that would cause BTC to shoot up all the way up here. Easy. So there are events that could happen to do this. So yes, RSI is starting to fall down. It's 78. We're still in overbought territory, but it's moving up. So I'm going to be watching this. If today ends up being a red day, meaning that we have a close below our open, and our open for the day here is $47,067.99. It's right here at the O, just in case those of you that don't know. So if we close below here, it's another red day, then I'll be taking a little bit of my profits out of my trades, just because I'll be expecting a small pullback. Where will we pull back to? Great question. I'm going to be using the TBO because it's been pretty reliable so far. It's been incredible. So what was once resistance becomes support. That's why the TBO has changed from red dots to green dots. So yes, I know this is support down here. It's true. So we also have support up here. This resistance is now support. So if we see a pullback, again, I think it's going to be a small pullback. It's going to be down here to about 45K, and then we'll see what BTC does next. I still think that we are moving up. I think that we are going to see bullish continuation patterns, and that we're going to see the price move up more and more. And this is why I think so as well. I'm going to make these brighter so you can see. Great. So the only line here, oh, why did I do that? Where is it? Oh, that's why. There we go. So the TBO is made up of lots of symbols, dots, lines, and then these lines here, which make the cloud. So here's the thing. All these lines, 1, 2, 3 lines of the TBO are green. That is good. We have one that's red. Not that it's bad, but this is the slowest line possible. Think of this like that 200-day moving average. So the 200-day moving average is always going to be slow, always going to be late. So Bitcoin's price is above this slow line, bullish. We have the fast line right here, the thickest line right here at 43,872, green, bullish, bullish, bullish. They're all moving up. This one's going to be the last one to turn up. So we are in the process of seeing a really awesome trend reversal. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, but I think that we are seeing something play out. Now, I realize that for some of you that feel conflicted and you're wondering, Moon and Papa, you just posted a video a month ago now saying Bitcoin's going to have this explosive bullish breakout. We're seeing it play out. We're seeing it play out. But you also posted the video about conflicting signals. What do I do with that information? The same thing as I told you in the video. You just have to take profits. You have to understand that we're not just going straight to the moon right now today. If we see a drop, and we see a drop down to 20K, that would be pretty insane. When I look at the charts and I look at the weekly time frame on the TBO, I don't see this kind of reversal happening. And I have to go to Bitstamp, sorry. The only other time I see this happening is way back here. So this move back here in, what is this, 2014. We got to wait a minute for this to load. Too many drawings. We'll just do that. So this move here, what I'm talking about is this. So we got a confirmed open short on the weekly. The price falls down, but it moves up actually 40% before it falls down again. Okay? So keep that in mind. So where we are now, and look at the pattern. Up, and down. Here we go. Same thing. Up, and we haven't seen our down yet. Up. So in 2014, it actually, and I need to show this again. In 2014, it did this one and higher, and then it fell. We're not seeing that right now. Just like I said in the video, just because it's happened before, it doesn't guarantee it's going to happen in the future. But we want to pay attention to what happened in the past so we have a better idea of what could happen next. So what would change things and cancel out that BTC to 20K? For me, it would be watching the weekly time frame turn bullish again, having an open long for the TBO. Now, I know that not everybody has the TBO. So if we talk just about price action, it's going to be when Bitcoin goes to 52K and cracks above it. Now, the reality is that if you're waiting for Bitcoin to go up to 52 or like 53, like this up here, you're going to be sorely disappointed because it's going to be many percent below, or I'm sorry, above. It's going to be 12% above where we currently are. If you're waiting for that, you've missed out on this time to buy BTC, this time. If you're waiting for confirmation, you're going to be waiting all the way till 70K. Now, please hear me out. I am not saying that you have to buy Bitcoin, but you want to be watching this. Now, I'm telling you, when I see Bitcoin go to 52K and it breaks above it, then that's, for me, that's confirmed bullish, and that will no doubt, when Bitcoin goes up here to 53K, that will change this open short to an open long. It does happen. It's not very often, but it does happen. And when that does, then I think we're going to just keep moving up higher, believe it or not. It's a little bit crazy. So we are in this just fantastic pattern right now. It just looks great. Things look really good. So let's look at a couple of other things. Oh, and by the way, I forgot, I usually do this, but if you're enjoying this live stream and you want to join me for the next one, down here in the upcoming live stream section, you can hit set reminder for these, and that way you'll get a notification about when my live stream is going to go live. And feel free to like this live stream, and maybe other people see it and enjoy it just as much as you are. Cool. Okay, so let's go back to it and let's look at a couple of other things. I've been watching Bitcoin dominance, and I was hoping that Bitcoin dominance would shoot up. So the last time we saw Bitcoin dominance print, and you're going to love this, by the way, you're absolutely going to love this. We saw it print breakouts. There was a close long, cross down, and then it shot up. Okay, this time period from here to here, 63 days. So think 2 months. Let's skip ahead to where we are now. So burn this into your retinas. Ready? Breakout, close long. I'll circle it just to show it to you. Close long, cross down. Okay, it's all about patterns, and we're seeing this move up. We're seeing this come down, not as dramatically. I will say that it's not the same shape, but we're seeing it fall down. What happened next was that Bitcoin dominance shot up. Bitcoin dominance rose 16%. If we see Bitcoin dominance rise 16%, that puts us up here to 50% dominance, which Bitcoin hasn't been above 50% dominance since over here, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, since May 1st, 2021. So if that happens, alts will get crushed. It's just going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen just like that, but it's definitely interesting how it's playing out the same as before. Now, the last times we've seen this happen too, without the breakout, we see a close short, and then we see cross down, open short, Bitcoin dominance falls. When we see this happen right here to here and here to here, this provides a lot of space for alts to go crazy and alts shoot up. So what are we seeing happening right now? Well, if we look at others, where is it? Oh, no, it's just others. So right now, others is looking really good. Oh, I wanted to look at total 3, this one. So total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, is looking really, really good, really strong. The fact that it's broken above this trend, and yes, you can chart an index. You can chart these. We're seeing it all over the place. We're seeing it all over the place. I'll prove it to you. Over here on the Better Crypto Scanner, you can see these charts that are just going absolutely crazy. If we look at charts that have spreads greater than 20%, sorting by the spread high to low, yeah, of course, Zilliqa is at the very top with 100%, 106%, but look, 80%, 70, 50, 50, 40, 39, 39, 38, 35, 35. This is insane. There are so many tokens right now that are going crazy. And we'll just look at another one of these. So look at JST. So this one, no good reason for this token to pump right now. The reason why it's pumping, that's because the market's crazy. And because Bitcoin's feeling bullish, alts are taking off. If we look at, and I have a feeling, but I just want to check it first because I have a sneaking suspicion. So just give me a second. Here we go. Yep. All right. So if we're looking at just, which we saw here on the scanner, is second place. This is at market cap rank 149. This chart is not a top 10 chart. This chart is one of those charts that it's just, I mean, I'm sure there might be some people that love Just, and maybe there is some really good stuff happening with it, but the reality is that it's just one of these tokens that it's just not going to make it long term. It's just not. So maybe there is bullish news. I don't know. It seems like there must be. But the reality is that it's done this before. So this is one of those charts that you can depend on it pumping down, pump, 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 pump. So be careful and understand that lots of these tokens that are here that are making big moves today, a lot of these ones, just understand that we are entering what I think is going to be the start of a little alt season. So having a little alt season like this will put some profits back in your pockets after having such a disastrous January and February and March. And now we're finally getting to the end of it and we're seeing some relief. So make sure that you take profits along the way. Don't just buy and hold and sit. Try to remember the pain of January, the pain of December, watching all your profits start to go red and drag and feel heavy. When you finally close out of those deals, those bought deals on 3 that you've been waiting to close for too long. Don't all of a sudden go full bull and like go crazy and put everything you have into some. Don't do that. The market works in cycles. Right now we're starting to get bullish. Right now we're starting to see alts become bullish, but you have to understand that it might be short-lived. Bitcoin is on this seesaw, right? So things are not super duper solid. Therefore, we've just got to be careful and not get too excited, okay? So let me just take a quick look at the chat. So I don't see any real questions. I see one note about the 200 EMA on the daily that I can look at real quick. So I'm going to go to moving average exponential. Add this on the chart. So our 200 EMA right now, we're above it, and it's actually curving up, which is great. So this could actually work as support as well. It's funny, actually. Let me put this on. When the price comes down to meet it, I bet you it's going to be right here at 45.3. It's pretty close. So we've finally gotten above it. I'm not really worried about the EMA at all, to be honest. It's curving up. BTC is looking strong. We should be in a good spot. Again, I think we're going to have a little breakdown before we move up higher, but I think we're in a good spot. So awesome. Well, I'm so happy to see all of you here with me today. I hope that you have a great rest of your week. Remember to secure profits, be satisfied with any amount of profit. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.